There are so many hidden treasures here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. I recently found one right off Route 11 just north of downtown Bloomsburg. It's a 45,000 square foot museum that features something for everyone in the whole family. Here's what I found at Bill's Old Bike Barn Museum in Bloomsburg, Columbia County. There's a parachute used for freight purposes in World War II, an 1853 replica of the ship called the Susquehanna, and one of the first motorcycles ever made, a 1909 Peugeot. Oh, and how could you forget Billville, the perfect place to visit any time of year.
And it's a great place to visit when it rains or it's cold out, because it's never less than 70 degrees in Billville and never rains. Well, we've got a lot of little shops, barber shops, and the old hotel, the train station, the camera shop, the little gas station on the corner. Then we also have the post office.
The small town replica Billville and 45,000 square feet of collectibles, motorcycles, and more can all be found at Bill's Old Bike Barn Museum. That's just north of Bloomsburg on Route 11. Bill's Bike Barn is open during select hours on Thursdays through Sunday and welcomes larger groups of all types.
A lot of the people that come to the museum like it because it kind of takes them back into time, and everything is old, you know, like our lives today. Everything is computer and all the late model stuff, and it just gives them a chance to relax and go back to the old time.
Speaking of the old time, you got to go back to the 1960s when Bill first started to put the museum together.
Well, it started out as my motorcycle business, and then I got too many collectibles and I had to start a place to put them in, and we started the museum, and we've got about 175 bikes in here.
Describe what this is. You say this is one of the more popular pieces in your museum.
Yes, I got this in Belgium. This is a 1939 World War II Kittenkrat. It was used to go out on the lines, and it had little trailers that pulled ammo, and was used to string telephone wires.
And in this corner of the museum, how about this interesting piece? It's actually a motorcycle. Look inside the cab, you can see the handlebars and the seat of the bike. But if further back here, it's actually a dump truck. This functioned as a dump truck back in Italy 40 or 50 years ago.
It's actually a 1.5 ton dump truck, and it was used by the Italians in construction. And it's got like a little cab on it, and inside there is actually a motorcycle.
As you might have already seen, Bill's Old Bike Barn Museum is more than just motorcycles. How about this military setup?
I have my little WLA 1941 military Harley 45, and we have a little 39 BSA behind it, and we have all the different things from the military. We have a foxhole. We have a 30 caliber machine gun in the foxhole.
Right next to the combat display is one of only 600 bikes made in the world for Operation Desert Storm. In another section of the museum, you'll find an actual bar that was on display at the 1939 World's Fair. Next to it, how about keeping your beer cold in this thing? A cooler from the 1930s. Note that the cooler is covered with signatures from people who have visited Bill's Old Bike Barn from all over the world. What's the most unusual place someone has come from to see the museum?
Australia, Indonesia, Africa.
Just think, you don't have to travel nearly that far to take a trip back through time at Bill's Old Bike Barn Museum on Route 11 just outside of Bloomsburg. What an awesome place. To find out more information about Bill's Old Bike Barn Museum or to set up a tour for yourself or your group, all you have to do is visit billsbikebarn.com. Again, that's billsbikebarn.com.